The Rare Books USA store monthly reports. Again, art sales, antique and vintage books on 333 English Ordinal. Again, Rare Books USA is a store. It is a subsidiary of Data Productions Media. The goal is taking the book company public one day. The earnings report style monthly updates. We're tracking sales, expenses, and future business advancements. And the dividend portfolio that we've been going over is an asset of Rare Books USA for financing. We're going to do more of that as we go in the future. I'm excited. All right. So for the month of November, again, we have essentially like a week left in November, but solid numbers, man. Solid numbers. I didn't bring it up, but I've done over $1,000 this month in general. But I wanted to bring up the total sales for the full year thus far. $4,500, so 4,500 in sales. And I started at the beginning of July. So I'm actually really proud of myself and excited for myself. My goal for the year was 5,000. I'm going to crush that for sure. I might finish that before November. So now, with that said, I have raised my guidance. I'm providing 2024 annual revenue guidance of 5,000. That was my initial goal of revenue, right? And so I'm not at my goal yet, and so I'm keeping it at 5,000. That's my guidance for the year. But I think we can get 6,000 before the end of the year. I'm pretty confident in that. That's my goal, and I want 6,000 because that's exceeding my own expectations for myself. So that's what we're going for. 100% positive feedback. Still, top rated seller on eBay. No defect rate. No late shipments. No issues. 20 followers. Net sales with all the costs and such, 28,000. 2,800. It's a little less than that because I use another shipping software as well too. So I'm looking probably at like 24, 2,500, and so that's what I'm really bringing home right now. My upfront investment's still high. Like I bought so much inventory that I still haven't gotten out yet. So I'm probably 7,000 invested in right now, if I really am honest with myself. So for 7,000 investment, 4,000 in sales, about 2,500 in profit that I've taken home thus far. But still not fully in the. I'm not close to the green yet, but we'll get there next year easily. I'm actually pretty excited about that. 773 items listed, top rated seller. I'm running 33% weekend sales, always every weekend, 33% off. That's getting the numbers up for the weekends because people, watching football, having time with their family and stuff. So I'm trying to get more people into the store. So I'm running that. We're running a continuous 3 items for 33% off volume discount. So if you buy 3 items from my store, you get 33% off. And that's continuous. That could be a weekend. That could be a weekday. That could be whatever. That's just a deal for the store. And I think that just opens up possibilities. Some people have asked, they wanted to buy multiple things from a store, but I never had this set up. Now it's easy for them to do. The shipping is calculated, a lot easier. I appreciate you being here as well, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're almost done for the day. We're almost there. We're getting closer to the end. My average sale price per item is about $28, which is pretty good. I would like to see that in the 30 next year. But ultimately, it comes down to how much you're paying for the books, how much you're paying in shipping and such. So even if my average price per sale does not raise, how much am I still keeping home with keeping my margins up, keeping my costs low? And so just making sure I had to keep protecting my business. I had to get a new business card because I was not protecting my business. And that slowed me down for a week and a half. Continue to cut costs, have the shipping flexibility, all important things. And I'm doing it. And I'm excited to see where we're at by the end of December. We should be close to 6,000. hopefully in sales by then. Really excited. And so this is an example. I had to make a book lot for one of my repeat buyers because I didn't have the flexibility with combining items and shipping and stuff like that. So I had to make a makeshift book lot of all the books that the lady wanted into one photo, and I sold it. So now in the future, she'll be able to just to add everything to her cart really easy. She won't have to reach out to me. We have to do a special listing. So it's a process. I'm learning, and we're going again. This is going public one day. We don't know what day yet, but someday soon. So the data divvy pack, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 stocks right now. I've whittled down the position to 7. I'm looking to get that back up to 10 at some point in the future with the right stocks, of course. I wanted to take some cash, wanted to take some gains, wanted to concentrate a little bit more. And, my policy is higher the dividend right now, but it's not as risky as one might be if you pick the right company. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but overall, I felt like I've been doing it. And even with the companies that are low right now, UAN, BGS, NAT, WBA, I have a bull case for all those, right? UAN, fertilizer, not a large float. It can actually move quite a bit. It might be a buyout. Target at some point in the future. People are still going to be eating food. We still need fertilizer. Any world we in, with Trump coming to office, that might help out corn. That might help out domestic corn rates. Not really getting into like what side's better politically. I'm just saying what's out there, what could potentially happen for UAN. You go to BGS. We're talking about exports are going to be hurting, so that American-made canned food brands, spices and whatnot. That's American-made right there. It's been low in price, but executives have been buying at these levels. The dividend is 9% at this level, if not a little bit more, 10%. So I'm rocking with it now. I had to change my story on it a little bit. I was hoping that we would get an inflation rise and people would be buying canned goods and shelf products a little bit earlier on. But things changed a little bit. But I still think with interest rates lowering, that actually helps their costs out a lot. They're getting rid of their frozen vegetable brand, here shortly. So that should help the cost a lot because they actually had to grow the veggies, freeze the veggies, and pack it. That's a lot of work. Let's streamline it. Let's get the spices up. The spice revenue is doing a lot better. NAT, obviously, Nordic American Tankers. I'm all in on this. I put so much money in this, and I'm okay. It's getting closer to book value. The vice chair, executive, family member continues to buy shares. He hasn't bought at this level, but he bought at $3.30. The dividend payout's coming up soon, so I'm getting a hefty dividend at a low price. Tanking shipments still at a premium right now. The supply on tanks is low. They just got a contract for $35 million for over 5 years on the charter rates with this one big oil company. So they have the stability. I'm not too worried. They have the dividend. It's going to go back up in price in the right time. Same thing with WBA. Now this is a really legitimately a turnaround play. This is a risky turnaround play. People are really down on WBA and Walgreens right now, but I really do like the CEO. I like the story that they're doing. People look at the retail stores, they're closing those down, but they really know the people who understand the business. Most of the money comes from the back end with the pharmacy. They're taking up more pharmacy scripts from other areas. They're also working the PBMs are going to get hit over the head from the FTC for their monopolistic practices. So that should be more money in the pharmacy's pockets, which should help Walgreens. And Tim Wentworth was on the other side at one point with the PBM, so he understands the system. Every time I read the conference calls and stuff like that, very professional. I feel like they know what they're doing. They're focused. And I have a lot of confidence that this is going to get turned around, and I'm just taking the dividend for now. We have the investment income coming in for 2020, 2024, $319.79. This quarter we were minus 684.98. Last quarter we're minus 464.49. Not too worried about that. On the year for realized gains, we're up $396.33, which is nice. And our yield right now is 6.4%. So we have a high yield portfolio. We're doing the thing. I'm trying to find some new plays here soon, but we're just holding on what we got. So that is the divvy pack for today.